Royal Caribbean's Brilliance of the Seas launched in 2002 and is the second cruise ship in the Radiance class, and while she's a little older, a little smaller, that doesn't mean she's a bad choice at all. In fact, it's one of the hidden gems within Royal Caribbean's fleet because it has a lot to offer, great itineraries, and probably won't cost nearly as much as some of Royal Caribbean's newest ships. And today, we have a full walkthrough tour of Brilliance of the Seas up next. Let's begin our tour of Brilliance of the Seas on the pool deck. Brilliance of the Seas, by the way, was updated in 2018 and has a few more features on it than when she first launched, obviously. Now, being a pool deck of a cruise ship, I don't think you're to see anything too surprising out here. It's got the main pool, a couple hot tubs, and some areas for guests to relax, lounge, and of course dance. You can notice actually there's a large area by the movie screen. Brilliance does have a large movie screen that plays random videos during the daytime as well as movies in the afternoon and in the evening. In the pool though, there's enough space to kind of just lounge, swim, and enjoy being in the water. The pool is available to guests of all ages, as well as the hot tubs as well. These hot tubs are available on a first come, first served basis, and on a sea day, even embarkation day, they can certainly get a lot busier because a lot of people want to have that cruise ship experience of being in the pool, being able to enjoy some time out in the sun, and maybe you can get a tan on there. Now, depending on which itinerary you're selecting, and of course the time of year, you know, how hot it is outside and whatnot, that may dictate how busy the pool deck is, but there is a lot of seating around the pool deck. Although, if you roll in around like, noon on a sea day, I'm sure most of the chairs, not all the chairs, will be taken. The good news is, though, there's other chairs around the pool deck. We'll see a lot of those as we go through this video tour, but there are a number of places you can go to enjoy a seat either in the sun or in the shade. There's also a complimentary life vest provided on the pool deck, so if your kids are not a very strong swimmer, you can certainly borrow one of these at will, no extra cost for that. And there's also a towel station right nearby, so you can borrow a towel, no need to pack any towels on board. You'll also find a pair of ping pong tables on Brilliance of the Seas. The ping pong tables have no cost to them. Grab your paddles and give it a try. And I mentioned there was a movie screen as well on Brilliance, and it's great having this here because it provides a little bit of entertainment. During the football season, as an example, you'll have sporting events up there, and it's just nice to have that there and provide some entertainment. There's also the pool bar, which offers, well, of course, pool drinks. And if you buy a drink package, that works here at the pool bar and all the bars and lounges on Brilliance. Being the pool bar, a lot of people love going out here, grabbing that margarita, pina colada, and just enjoying, that quintessential cruise experience. Now, there are waiters that will go around the pool deck to grab your drink order if you so need it, so don't feel like you need to go to the pool bar to get a drink, but for a lot of people, it's nice to get up there. Let's head up to deck 12 and check out the Sky Bar. The Sky Bar is basically just the pool bar on deck 12 instead of deck 11, but it's a great spot. And what I love about the Sky Bar is that while it has the exact same menu as the pool bar, the Sky Bar has much better views out here being on deck 12. There's a better breeze out here, and it's just a really nice place to grab a drink and enjoy the view. In fact, if you're looking for a great sail away spot, I really like Sky Bar. It'll be busy, certainly, but I like the fact you get a higher vantage point and more of the breeze, and it's just a really nice spot to go to. In fact, on sea days, I like hanging out there a lot. There's also a jogging track on Brilliance located on deck 12. Essentially goes around deck 12, so there are seats you can go to and relax. But in addition, there is this walking, jogging trail that essentially goes around deck 12 and provides an opportunity if you're looking to get some exercise in and enjoy that. That's not my thing, but more power to you if you're willing to exercise while on vacation. But there are plenty of chairs also on deck 12 that go around not only the jogging track, but deck 12 itself. And it's nice to get out here if you want to go suntanning. Well, there's no shade up here at all, so it's really nice to be able to get a seat out there and enjoy that. Now, there are also other seats that go towards the front of the ship, and you can see here as we're walking towards the front of deck 12, there are a number more seats. So if you're looking for a quieter spot, let's say you want to read a book, listen to some music, maybe take a nap, this is one of the better spots because there's no music out here. Anyway, but if you are looking for music, well, check out the sail away area because on the main pool deck, there'll be a sail away party. There'll be pool bands here during your cruise as well. And the idea is you got that mix of energy, chill, and enjoyment and music, and it's really a great spot for sail away and be able to enjoy your time on Brilliance of the Seas. Let's head into the Solarium, which is the adults-only pool on deck 11 midship. The Solarium is reserved for adults who are basically 18 years old or older, and it allows a private enclosed space for adults to enjoy without any kids in the area. Now, kids are allowed to walk through the solarium to get from point A to point B, but they're not allowed to, of course, take up the space here, go in the pool, sit in the chairs and whatnot. And the solarium, the nice thing about it, besides the fact it's adults only, is that it has padded seats and it's enclosed. So no matter how hot or cold it is outside, the temperature is usually perfect in here, which makes this really advantageous, especially during some of the cooler months of the year, or if you're sailing on Brilliance during a time in which it's just not that warm outside to begin with. Maybe it's windy, maybe it's rainy. Well, it's always perfect weather in the solarium. And I really love the padded seats, some of the viewpoints you have. I mean, one of the mantras that you're gonna find quickly within Brilliance as you're watching this video is there's lots of opportunities to look out to the ocean. And that's certainly the case here on Brilliance. There's also a solarium bar, and this is the pool bar for the solarium area. And I love how communal this bar is because it's located right in the middle of the solarium. It's very advantageous and close to the pool. So I think that it really lends itself towards being a social place. You'll also find Park Cafe within the solarium. Park Cafe is available to all guests, so this includes your kids. And this is where you can get a snack on board Brilliance. This is also where you can find the pizza on board. If you've been on other roller coaster cruise ships that have Sorrento's pizza, well, this is where that's served. But it also has salads you can order, sandwiches, cookies, and of course complimentary coffees and juices and waters. So you're allowed to bring your kids in here to grab a snack and go on your way and whatnot. And Park Cafe is actually very popular with guests because it offers an easy way to enjoy, well, a lot of different foods, and of course it's included in your cruise fare. In short, I really like the solarium going on there when my kids are not with me, obviously, just me and my wife. It's a great place to relax, hang out, enjoy some time with your good friends, Ben and Kenny. But if you do have kids on board, well then check out the sports deck located on deck 12 and 13. Actually, this is for anybody, not just kids, obviously, but I think if you have kids, you might want to spend some time over here, starting with the rock climbing wall. Every Royal Caribbean cruise ship has a rock climbing wall on board the ship, and this is included in your cruise fare. And the idea here is that you have the chance to see if you can get all the way to the top. There are different courses, paths along the rock wall. Some are more difficult than others, but if you get all the way to the top, you can ring the bell and prove that you made it all the way up there. It's great for kids and adults alike, and it's included in your cruise fare. They provide all the stuff you need. All you need to bring are closed-toed shoes in order to enjoy it. Well, let's head to the back of the sports deck now and enjoy some of the other activities. Check out what else is available on Brilliance. There is a mini golf course. Mini golf course is included in your cruise fare. No additional cost there. Just grab your club, a ball, and give it a try and see how well you can do. Whether you keep score or you cheat flagrantly or you just do something in the middle, it's up to you. I also recommend checking out mini golf at night. It's kind of a fun experience to do. Changes up a little bit, and it's also a lot less crowded here. I mean, during the daytime it can be a little busy, but in general, I don't think it's too busy, and it's a fun, great family activity. There's also a sports court on Brilliance. Now, the sports court primarily is a basketball court, but it can be used for multi-purposes. In some cases, it'll be a pickleball court. In other cases, it'll be used for dodgeball. But there's no cost to these activities as well. It's included. And when there are special events, like maybe there is a basketball competition, a free throw competition, Royal Caribbean provides all that, and they'll actually have staff members there to help you with all that. In addition, there is a water slide on Brilliance. Now, while there is a water slide, it is only for kids. It's really meant for more younger kids, like I'm going to say certainly under 10 years old. I think anyone older than that will find them not only juvenile, but not that thrilling to begin with. Unfortunately, Brilliance does not have like the big water slides that can accommodate adults and older kids. But if you have younger children, well, this is fantastic, and it's included in your cruise fare. So maybe take your kids out there to be able to enjoy some time. It's nice having at least something for them. Let's check out the first specialty restaurant on Brilliance, and this is Izumi, located at deck 12 at the back of the ship. And I absolutely love Izumi to begin with on any Royal Caribbean ship, and this particular location is fantastic. I love the views you have of the ocean out here. Of course, the fantastic sushi, because if you're going to Izumi, you're gonna probably eating sushi. There are other Japanese cuisine items that are not sushi, so if you're not into fish, that's okay. They have other items like chicken teriyaki, beef teriyaki, and whatnot. But I gotta say that I really love the sushi component that's here because, I mean, at the end of the day, Japanese cuisine is all about sushi, and I love that. But there are other items like, you know, ramen soups and different entrees as well. So it depends on what you're looking for. Izumi is priced a la carte, so you pay for what you order. And that's nice in the sense that you can go in here for a snack or go for a full meal. If you have a dining package, well, that includes, at the time of the recording of this video, up to $40 per person to be able to use as a stipend. In addition, you might also find some sushi making classes available for an extra cost. Check your cruise planner for more information on that. There is outdoor seating at Izumi, so if you're maybe interested, maybe it's a nice day out, you can ask to be seated outside, but certainly make reservations either way. Located right nearby is Challenger's Arcade. This is the arcade on board Brilliance. In order to play in the arcade, you just simply swipe your SeaPass card and pay for each game at a time. Of course, every game here does cost extra, including the claw games and the racing games and the shooting games and the, I don't know what monkey ball game is, but that's what it does as well. And essentially, you just swipe your SeaPass card, pay for your game, and you're on your way. This is very addictive if you've got kids. Maybe you don't let your kids go in here to begin with, but just keep in mind that there's nothing for free. I remember one of our friends, Lorelai, thought it was free because she kept on swiping her SeaPass card, and hey, it worked! Well, that charges you, so make sure you are responsible with that, but there is an arcade if you so choose. Also in the back of the ship is a great viewing area of the aft, and boy, just great views here of Brilliance of the Seas. Really enjoy that. As we're going to head down to actually the Windjammer. So we're actually going to the Windjammer, I guess, backwards here, but there is outdoor seating in the Windjammer on deck 11 aft, and this is something you'll find on the Radiance and the Quantum class ships. But within the Windjammer is the buffet. This is included in your cruise fare, and the buffet is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day of your cruise. You simply grab a plate, feed yourself, and be on your way. When it comes to the buffet on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship, there's a good variety of food. That's really what I think makes the Windjammer stand out. It's casual. There's not much of a dress code other than the fact you need to be wearing, clothes, and it can't be a bathing suit, and you have to wear shoes. That's about it. But you simply go in, grab your food, and enjoy as much as you'd like. There's no limits on it. Simply grab a new plate every time you want something different. And the best part is there's such a great variety of food that it really lends itself towards picky eaters, because you can certainly find a lot of adventurous food, but you can also find some classics in there, including, of course, ice cream. It wouldn't be a Royal Caribbean cruise without complimentary soft serve ice cream, and you'll find it over in the back of the Windjammer. In general, though, I really recommend checking out the cooking stations that you'll find within the Windjammer. Depending on the time of day, there are different cooking stations available. For breakfast, there's an omelet station, and then for dinner, there's usually some sort of a mix going on there, whether it is stir fry or a pasta station or something else altogether. It's nice having that as well. And there are complimentary drinks. On any Royal Caribbean cruise, you'll have complimentary milk, and coffees, and teas, and waters, of course, and some flavored waters to go with that as well. There's a lot of seating within the Windjammer. I mentioned there was outdoor seating, but also tables within the Windjammer. And of course, keep in mind, you can always take your food anywhere else. So maybe you're hanging out at the pool deck. You go to the Windjammer, grab your food, and go back to your seat out on the pool deck if you so choose. But there is usually plenty of seating there. If you struggle to find seating, my advice is head outside or go to the back of the Windjammer. The further back you go, the more seating there is. And I can't understate enough how nice that outdoor seating is at the back of the Windjammer. It's so nice. And having the breeze, having the sun shining, it is one of my favorite places on any ship. And the Radiance class really got it right with the seating here on Brilliance, having those aft views while you're enjoying your food. Whether it's you're having your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, every time I get my food, I head here immediately. It's so nice having those views out there. You'll also notice on one of the sides of the Windjammer, essentially, is this Mexican-looking bar. So this used to be called Rita's Cantina. Royal Caribbean basically got rid of the concept and just created an extra big seating area for the Windjammer. But the nice thing here is that there's actually a coffee bar back here. So if you're looking to get your morning coffee, instead of going to Cafe Latitudes, which we're going to see later in this video, this is a much less busy spot. So check that out as an option for your morning coffee. In short, the Windjammer has a lot of variety, and it's open most times of the day. It's not 24 hours, but it does offer a good amount of selections and, of course, times to enjoy it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's included, so hard to go wrong with that. Next on our stop is we're going to go up to Deck 13, check out the Crown Lounge. The Crown Lounge is reserved for Royal Caribbean's Crown and Anchor members. This is a specific lounge for Diamond, Diamond Plus, and Pinnacle Club members to enjoy at their leisure. Essentially, this is a reserved area just for them that offers, well, a place to go, enjoy some great views, and in the evening, there's actually hors d'oeuvres and drink service. I would also argue, also important, is the coffee machine is also really nice. The coffee machine is available 24 hours. You can go here and grab a morning latte. That's available to you via the coffee machine. And of course, you have the services of the Diamond Concierge. The Diamond Concierge is there to help you. It's kind of a mix of guest relations and customer loyalty ambassador. But essentially, if you have any issues, go speak to the Diamond Ambassador. They can help you out. And I think for a lot of people, the Crown Lounge is a social experience. It's an opportunity to go up here, hang out with other people that cruise a lot, because if you get the Diamond status within Royal Caribbean, that means you've cruised a couple different times. And so going up here is a nice benefit of that. And Royal Caribbean wants to recognize your loyalty by providing an exclusive space just for you. Certainly the evening hours between 5 and 7 p.m. are when it's busiest, but you can go here any time of the day during the morning and early afternoon, it's usually pretty empty in here. It's great to be able to read a book. If you're staying in a suite, there is the Suite Lounge, aka the Concierge Club, and this is basically like the Crown Lounge, but for anybody who's staying in a suite. So if you're in a grand suite or higher, this is an area just for you. The Concierge Lounge provides a reserved spot for suite guests, and it provides hors d'oeuvres during different times of the day, as well as, of course, drink service. Now, a different distinction between the Suite Lounge and the Crown Lounge is that in the evening hours, alcohol is included at no additional cost within the Concierge Lounge. So if you're staying in a suite, this is one of the best benefits of staying in a suite. Go up here in the evening hours and enjoy unlimited alcohol while you're in the lounge during the set hours. In addition, there's also the Suite Concierge available, and the Suite Concierge is there to help you with any issues you might have. Essentially, they're your own little guest services. You don't have to go all the way down to guest services for issues. The Suite Concierge can help you out. I also like the fact there's outdoor seating at the Suite Lounge. So if the weather's nice, you can go out here and enjoy your drink or just enjoy the views. Anyway, the Suite Lounge is reserved just for suite guests and Pinnacle Club members, and it's just nice having this space reserved for you being a suite guest. Next on our tour is a look at the Viking Crown Lounge, also located on deck 13 at the very top. The Viking Crown Lounge is a beautiful space open to all guests, and it's a lounge, it's a bar, right? But what makes the space unique are the views, because of course you'll have sweeping views around the ship, and what's available and being elevated, it really provides a very nice venue. Now, the Viking Crown Lounge serves a lot of purposes. In the daytime, it's primarily just a bar and kind of, just a place to go to enjoy. There can be events up here, and primarily in the evening, you're going to find a lot of live music performed in the Viking Crown Lounge, especially DJ music as well. It's a big thing where the club can go, and if you're looking for that oomps, oomps, oomps type party, well, then the Viking Crown Lounge is for you. Something else interesting about the bar on Brilliance of the Seas is the main bar actually spins. It spins very slowly. It rotates, however you want to call it. I mean, very slowly. You're not going to get motion sickness on it, but something cool there. Also located nearby is the Loyalty Ambassador. So the Loyalty Ambassador is there to help you with any of your Crown and Anchor questions. How many points do you have in Crown and Anchor Society? How many points did your next cruise? How many points did you get from your last sailing? Did you get all the benefits you're expecting? Things of that nature. You can go to the Loyalty Ambassador and meet them and get a chance for them to answer any questions you might have, or just simply shoot the breeze. If we head down to deck 4 and 5, you'll find the main dining room. The main dining room is one of the institutions of any cruise ship, and the main dining room is available for breakfast and dinner every day of your cruise. It's also available for lunch on sea days, and the main dining room offers seated waiter service at the various tables that are there. Now, when you book your cruise, you'll have the choice of either doing My Time dining or traditional dining. If you do traditional dining, that means you'll have the same table mates, the same table staff, and of course the same table assignment every night of your cruise. If you do My Time dining, there's more flexibility. You can choose a different time, a different day of where you want to eat, and you'll also have different table mates and different waiters depending on when you go. You can also simply show up or make a reservation for My Time dining. There are pros and cons to both, and we don't need to go into an in-depth discussion of My Time versus traditional, but I generally prefer traditional, although it is, the problem with that, of course, is that it's a very regimented schedule. You don't get to change your times depending on what your schedule is in port, but depending on which one you choose, you can maybe find the right fit for you. Regardless of that, the food in the main dining room is primarily included. There are a few extra cost items, but nearly most of the food you're going to find is included in your cruise fare, which provides plenty of choices for you. Now, breakfast is included as well, and as I mentioned, for breakfast, it's actually a great idea to go there because it's a little more casual, far less busy than the Windjammer, so it's really great for sea days or just any day you're not in a rush. And in terms of the main dining room, there is a dress code for dinner only. And the dress code there is pretty loose. Royal Caribbean doesn't enforce it too much, so it's not like anything out of, prom night or anything like that. It's not nearly that regimented, but still, it's a great experience, and I love the main dining room. Personally, when I go on a cruise, I like to mix up the main dining room and especially dining. Now, also it's important to mention there's a card room by the entrance to the main dining room. The card room essentially is an area you can go to play card games and board games or just simply socialize. Now, at the heart of Brilliance is the Centrum. The Centrum extends from decks 4 all the way up to decks 12, and essentially it is kind of like a main component. Imagine if you're walking into a hotel on land, and usually in the lobby you've got this Centrum area, and this atrium serves as a hub of activity. You're gonna find a lot of things happening in the atrium any point during the cruise. In the morning there might be Pilates lessons, and then later on there's live music and dancing and game shows. There's a lot happening within the atrium, and the cool thing about it is you don't have to be right at the bottom in order to take it all in. Certainly you need to be at the bottom of the atrium to actually do something for participate, but you can see from all the other decks. You'll also find at the base of the Centrum the R Bar. R Bar is one of the many bars and lounges on board Brilliance of the Seas. Back in the day, the R Bar had more of a craft drink approach to it, where they were kind of customly creating all sorts of drinks to enjoy. These days, it's more and more of a generic bar than anything else, but still, it's a great spot, great location, and certainly if you're looking to grab a drink while you're either watching one of the shows or participating, you can do so. Located right nearby is guest services on deck 4 at the base of the Centrum. And guest services is where you can go if you have any problems on board your cruise, your key pass not working, you want to check how much money you've spent on board, any issues you might find. Guest services is located right over here alongside the shore excursion desk. And of course, that's where you can book a tour and modify anything. There's also a photo studio right near guest services on deck 4. The photo studio is for private sitting, so if you want to do like a private shoot, you can do that. There obviously is an extra cost for the photo studio, but if you're interested in getting some professional shots of you and your family, this is an option for you. Let's go up to deck 6 and check out Vintages. Vintages is the wine bar on Brilliance, and what I love about the Vintages location here in Brilliance is the fact that you have great views of the ocean, so you can enjoy a glass of wine, take in the beautiful scenery, talk to Don and Judy. It's all available for you here in Vintages, and there's great seating, and I think a lot of people kind of go between looking at the ocean or, of course, looking at what's going on in the Centrum area, but it's a beautiful space for a lounge, and obviously if you're a wine aficionado, then Vintages is where you want to go. You're also going to find Cafe Latitudes on Brilliance of the Seas. Cafe Latitudes is the coffee shop on board, so they have complimentary coffee as well as Starbucks-esque drinks. They have macchiatos and lattes and hot teas and all sorts of things. Now, the drinks cost extra. Of course, the Starbucks-inspired drinks do cost extra. The complimentary coffee is just that complimentary. And there are snacks as well, which are included in your cruise fare that you can pick up here as well. And if you have a drink package or a coffee card, you can use it here at Cafe Latitudes just like you could at the coffee location we saw earlier in the Windjammer. But Cafe Latitudes is great if you're looking to get that, you want to have that macchiato, that latte in the morning, espresso, this is where you can go. There is some seating nearby the bar as well, so while you're waiting for your drink, you can have a seat or have a seat after you get your drink and enjoy the views of the ocean. Again, lots of views of the ocean here on Brilliance of the Seas. Next Cruise is where you can go to book another Royal Caribbean cruise. The idea of Next Cruise is pretty simple. You're already on a cruise, why not book your next cruise while on board? Royal Caribbean gives you a couple of key benefits for booking on board: reduced deposit and extra onboard credit. And if you're wondering, no, you should not wait to get on your next cruise until you book your next cruise. Really, Next Cruise is fantastic if you're on board the sailing and you think, boy, wouldn't it be great to book another cruise? But if you're sitting at home watching this video, well, you want to book your cruise now, because by the time you get on board Brilliance, the price could go up, and that would negate the savings, essentially, that you'd get from the extra onboard credit. Now, each deck has different seating within the Centrum, so again, as I mentioned, you can go to any of these areas, and probably as you're walking back and forth across the ship, you'll notice these seating areas, and they're first come, first serve, and they get very popular when there's something happening, there's an event or a show down in the Centrum area, so it's kind of an added component to it. You're also going to find the library on board within the Centrum, and the library is where you can go to essentially borrow a book. These books are available, and what selection they have, I have no clue, but if you'd like to borrow a book, that's an option for you. On sea days, a lot of people love hanging out here in the Centrum, having their book, listening to music, catching up on awesome Royal Caribbean blog articles on their device while being able to see what's going on. Speaking of Royal Caribbean blog, you can access it via one of these computers here in the cafe center that they've got here. I mean, quite frankly, I don't recommend using them. These computers are ancient and they're a little janky, but if you don't have any devices, well, it's better than nothing, I suppose. So that's kind of a look at the Centrum. In a lot of cases, the Centrum really is a hub of activity, especially in evening hours. You're going to find a lot of events down here, so keep an eye on it. Again, you don't have to be down at the bottom of the Centrum on deck 4 in order to participate. In a lot of cases, you can simply view the event quite easily from one of the upper decks. Let's head outside, because we're going to need to get some fresh air, and we're going to go to the Promenade deck on deck 5. The Promenade deck wraps around all of deck 5, and it's an opportunity for you to not only take in the ocean views, but get a little walking in. And the great thing about the Promenade deck is you're closer to the ocean, certainly, than the pool deck, and it provides some great views. And I love the seating out here. In fact, if it's like a sea day, and I'm looking for somewhere maybe to read a book or catch up on amazing Royal Caribbean blog articles, I'll go over to the chairs out here. It's a lot less busy, it's a lot quieter, so I like that. And one of my favorite secrets about Brilliance of the Seas is accessing the helipad. If you walk all the way forward, you can actually go up to the helipad on the bow of the ship and take in probably the best view you're going to find here on this vessel. A lot of people love this view for photos, and of course you can do your own little Titanic, I'm king of the world pose right at the front, but there's nothing like taking in this spot. And I gotta say, for sail away, this is the best place on Brilliance of the Seas to check out. It's really nice, so definitely go out here for at least one sail away because the view is absolutely phenomenal. Back inside, we're going to check out the shops of the Centrum, located on Deck 5 right off the Centrum. The shops of the Centrum are where you can go to check out a variety of shopping opportunities on board Brilliance. There are a variety of small shops that you can go to purchase various items. We're going to look at all the different shops that are available here. Even before you step foot in any of the shops, there are different kiosks in the walkway, I guess, that you can find various items. But depending on the shop, there's different souvenirs you can pick up. And whether you want to have a Royal Caribbean souvenir or you want to have a piece of jewelry, duty-free, they're all available to purchase. And if it comes to the duty-free liquor, by the way, you can purchase them on board the ship, but they'll be delivered to your cabin on the final day of the cruise because you're not going to be consuming it on board. In addition to duty-free liquor, there's also cigarettes and candies, as well as toiletries and other items. If you forgot to pack sunscreen or shampoo, you can purchase them on board the ship, although you're going to pay top dollar for them, so do yourself a favor. Bring them ahead of time. In addition, the Royal Caribbean shop offers a lot of Royal Caribbean logo wear. So if you want to have something with the Royal Caribbean logo or Brilliance of the Seas adorned on it, this is the place to go. For a lot of people, it's important to have a little souvenir from the ship and the sailing they went on, and this is where you can go to pick those items up. There's also other souvenirs, gifts, things for the kids, things to bring home, things to buy because you got extra onboard credit. You can do so as well. In addition, there's plenty of jewelry that you can purchase, so lots of choices for your shopping needs. The Art and Photo Gallery, which uses the Jurassic Park font, I'm not sure why, offers you a place to go check out the photos that you take on board the ship. You know, on Brilliance of the Seas, there's going to be many photo opportunities throughout the cruise. As you walk around the Centrum in the evening, you're going to notice photographers. And there's no fee to sit with the photographers and take a photo. But later on, if you want to purchase a print or a download, this is where you can go to check them out. Brilliance still has the old school prints on a wall thing. Many of the newer ships don't have this anymore. It's all digital. But here you can try to find your photo. And if you'd like to, purchase it and bring it home. There are also other souvenirs and photo accessories you can pick up. Maybe a frame. That's available as well. Right next door is the Art Gallery, and the Art Gallery is where you can go to preview the artwork that'll be up for auction later on in the cruise. Every cruise has an art auction on board, and if you'd like to, there are art auctions you can go to. I don't recommend them all that much, but hey, some people really enjoy that. Or more likely, you're going to walk from point A to point B and enjoy the great artwork that they have right by. Now, there's the conference center, also located. It was locked for when we were filming this, but trust me, it's a conference center. There's absolutely no need for you to ever go in here unless you're on a cruise that is like a group or has a conference, but it exists. It's here, so check it out. The Pacific Theater is located at the very front of the ship. The Pacific Theater is a beautiful space where you're going to find production shows throughout your cruise. Every evening, there will be something happening in the Pacific Theater. Now, while Brilliance of the Seas does not have a Broadway show, it does have other shows and production shows like Tango Buenos Aires, which is a beautiful production show, lots of music, lots of energy, and you're also going to find other events held in here. Now, admission to shows like Tango Buenos Aires and other production shows are all included in your cruise fare. Simply check the schedule, arrive. There's no reservations required. You don't need to get tickets for this. The space is big enough, the ship is small enough. That's not necessarily needed that you need to get one, nor is it offered anyway. Simply just go there at least, I would say, 15 to 20 minutes before the showtime. You'll get a great seat and simply first come, first serve. In addition, there are other shows, as I mentioned, the comedians, jugglers. There might be other live performances in there, so check the schedule. Brilliance also has a cinema on board, an actual movie theater, Deck 6, where you can see recent run movies throughout the day. In fact, there's movies pretty much all day long. I think they pause it like in the overnight hours, but you'll find movies in the morning, in the evening. And these are new movies, by the way. They're not showing, Benji and Mac and Me or some other movies that are so obscure and old. These are recent production movies, and there are seats. There's no cost for the movie theater. Simply show up. It's BYOF, bring your own food, and enjoy the show. And it's great that there's actual dedicated movie theater on board Brilliance of the Seas, because in many cases on other ships, you have to watch the movies over at a pool screen, so not quite the same thing. One of my favorite venues on Brilliance is the King and Country Pub. This is the English-style pub on board Brilliance, and it's a great spot. I love the layout of this. In general, I like the pub on all Royal Caribbean ships. But on Brilliance, I think the layout is probably the best one. It's big, there's enough space, but it's not enormous. And there's also TVs in here if you want to watch a sporting event, depending on what's happening during the cruise you're on. A lot of people may be in here watching the sporting events. There's also a dart board to be able to play. Yes, there are actually darts, and it's free to go in here. So the bar itself obviously is complimentary, and in the evening there is live music. In the daytime, there will probably be trivia events, but during the evening, this is really where the King Country Pub really stands out because the pub siren comes out there, they play live music, you got some great drinks going on, and when it comes to the pub, they'll be playing the music that you really know the words to, you know, a lot of Garth Brooks and Guns N' Roses and whatnot. There is a casino on board Brilliance of the Seas, located right in the middle of the ship on Deck 6. The casino is where you can go to enjoy slot machines and craps, roulette, blackjack, really whatever gambling you're looking for. It's certainly big enough, I think, for this ship. It's not a giant casino by any means, but there's enough space in here, and there is a smoking and non-smoking side to the casino. In terms of, you know, gambling and whatnot, you always want to use your SeaPass card to make sure you're getting points, because you never know if you earn enough points. There are certain rewards for that. We did a video recently talking all about how you get free cruises simply by gambling on a ship, although, of course, I should mention that you should be gambling responsibly. Let's head over to the Schooner bar on Deck 6, and arguably this is the most beautiful schooner bar in the entire Royal Caribbean fleet. Royal Caribbean really got this right here because the schooner bar always has a nautical motif to it, but I love the layout of the schooner bar here on Brilliance. It's large, there's lots of windows, it's a great looking bar, and it really incorporates the nautical theme very, very well. You know, in other cases, the nautical theme is kind of lost, especially on the newer ships, but here it's got that right blend of size and look and aesthetics. It's really, really nice. And oftentimes, not only are you going to find different events held within the schooner bar like trivia, but also live music, especially in the evening. There will be live performances as well as a piano player. And the piano player in the evening is really where the schooner bar comes to life because there's so much energy to it. A lot of Elton John and Billy Joel and Alicia Keys music. And of course, I can't forget, of course, the bar that's over here because it is the schooner bar. Lots of drinks to check out. Schooner bar has its own menu that is different than the rest of the ship's menu for drinks and cocktails. Again, these are just ideas. You can order whatever you like, but it's nice that they have different choices here. So if you have a drink package or you simply want to order a drink or two, this is a great place to go check out. Located right near the schooner bar is Chops Grill, another specialty restaurant. Chops Grill is the steakhouse on board. There is a cover charge to dine here, which means that you pay one fee per person, and it covers all the food for your meal. Chops Grill is primarily open for dinner. On some days, it might be open for lunch as well. But Chops Grill is a classic Royal Caribbean restaurant. It's Royal Caribbean's signature steakhouse. It's available on every single ship. So if you're in the mood for steak, or if you're Jenna, our YouTube editor, and you're in the mood for goat cheese salad, well, then this is the place for you because the steaks here really do stand out. And for a lot of people, there's nothing better than a great steak to go with your cruise ship vacation. So check it out. They do have other food as well, including fish and salmon, which I know is also a fish, and lamb and chicken, but I really think the steaks are really what drives people to go check out Chops Grill. Located right next door is Giovanni's Table. Giovanni's Table is the Italian restaurant on Royal Caribbean. It's a specialty restaurant, which means it does cost extra, just like Chops. It is a cover charge to dine here, and Giovanni is just like Chops, is open every night for dinner and on some days for lunch. And this serves traditional Italian fare, lots of pastas. They actually do have a great steak, and I'm going to say, call me crazy, I think the filet mignon at Giovanni's is better than the filet mignon at Chops. When you go on Brilliance, try them both and let me know what you think about it. But when I go to Giovanni's, I love the fresh-made pastas, the eggplant parmesan. Oh, I could eat here every day. It's so, so good. You know, when it comes to these specialty restaurants, by the way, whether it's Chops or Giovanni's or Izumi, you can purchase a dining package before your cruise, and that can help bring down the total price of these options there. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I like to augment specialty dining, not do it all, but have a couple nights in the dining room, a couple nights doing specialty dining. It's a nice way to kind of mix things up a little bit. We're going to head out to the Colony Club, and before we get over there, there's actually self-leveling pool tables. And these pool tables are, of course, your standard billiards tables, but they have gyroscopes in them, which are theoretically, when they're working, supposed to make the table level even if the ship is moving. But over in the Colony Club essentially is a multi-purpose venue. It's a place where you can go that has bar service, but also it's a big enough space to have different events. You'll find bingo in here, you'll find karaoke in here, you'll find the quest, you'll find the art auctions. Depending on the time of day, there's probably something going on in the Colony Club, and it's a massive space, and I really love the dark woods that are here. It's a definite throwback to, I think, the old days of cruising. It's a beautiful space, probably not utilized nearly enough, I think, in my opinion anyway. But that being said, it's a great space, and odds are you'll probably go back here at the back of the ship to go check out some sort of event that you see in the Cruise Compass or in your Royal Caribbean app. And it's just a great space to go check out. In fact, when there's not an event happening here, if you go all the way to the back, You get some great views of the aft of the ship's wake behind it. So again, a good spot that can be quiet and enjoy a view there, maybe read a book. Another specialty restaurant on Brilliance is Chef's Table. Chef's Table is an exclusive dining experience. It is a limited dining experience in which you and about a dozen or so other people are seated together and enjoy a curated meal that's created by the chef right then. So it's not like pre-prepared a couple hours beforehand. It's an interesting experience. If you're a foodie, Chef's Table is a great choice for you. It's not cheap, but every course is paired with wine. Royal Caribbean really does it quite nicely. Let's head up to deck 11 and 12 to check out the Vitality Spa and Fitness Center. So there is a spa and fitness center, aka gym, on board Brilliance of the Seas. The spa, of course, does cost extra, and the spa offers a variety of services available. There's a salon, and there are actually spa services. The spa services vary in terms of things like Swedish massage, and acupuncture, and hot stones, and seaweed wraps, and all that stuff. And the salon can do other things, such as, of course, doing mani, pedis, haircuts, shaves. All this should be reserved ahead of time. They do take walk-ins, but it's pretty busy. A lot of people like to indulge on a cruise. Also, something else that you can purchase on board the ship is the Hot Thermal Spa Pass. Thermal Spa Pass offers basically a pass you can go to enjoy as much as you'd like to. So you buy the pass for the duration of your sailing, and you can go and enjoy things like the thermal spa seats and the rainforest room and the sauna as much as you'd like to, as long as you'd like to. And there's limited options for those, limited passes rather, for the spa at the thermal spa. So if you'd like to purchase one, I definitely recommend doing it right at the beginning of the cruise. Now there's also a fitness center on Brilliance, and the fitness center is included in your cruise fare, and it's a pretty big gym, quite frankly. You have a lot of different machines, from ellipticals to bikes to treadmills, free weights, exercise machines. All this is included, if you can believe that. You know, I've been to some hotels where it's like, you know, they have a gym, and I'm using air quotes here because the gym is like, you know, like a closet somewhere, but this is a pretty big gym that rivals a lot of other gyms, quite frankly, that you might find on land, and it's included in your cruise fare. It does get busy, especially in the morning, although I will admit that as the cruise goes on, less and less people go to the gym, because early on everyone's like, I'm gonna do the gym every day, and then everyone's like, I'm gonna take a nap every day, and I'm gonna sleep until 11 o'clock. But anyway, the fitness center is available for you. The fitness center is included, so that's an option for you. There is Adventure Ocean on board. Adventure Ocean is the kids club. So if you have kids, there is a possibility for you to go bring them here and have supervised care for them. Now, Adventure Ocean is between the ages of 3 and 17 years old. That includes a teen club, obviously. And we're going to see some of these venues here. Depending on the age of your child, they'll be able to go to a different area of the Adventure Ocean area. The idea here is that the programming is age appropriate. Now, there is a nursery on board. The nursery is for kids between the months of 6 months and 36 months old. And the nursery essentially is a place you can go to drop your kids off. Now, while Adventure Ocean is complimentary, the nursery does cost extra. It's the best money you ever spend as a parent, but you can book time slots on board. For Adventure Ocean, there's no need to make reservations. Simply register them on day 1 of the cruise. And then while they're open, and Adventure Ocean is open 9 a.m. to noon, 2 to 5, 7 to 10 p.m. every day, assuming you're not in port. When you're in port, they're open whenever they're in port. And then there's late night hours from 10 p.m. onwards. And late night hours do cost extra. Again, great money to spend because I would rather have someone else watch my kids. But there's programming, things to do for the kids. They get to meet up and play. I really recommend bringing your kids on day 1 to check it out and register them. There is a teen club on board as well. So if you have teens on board, you can bring them to the Teen Disco, the Optics Club. And basically the teen club is just like Adventure Ocean, but obviously less juvenile and a little less structured, because teenagers don't want to be told what to do. I'm sure if you're a parent of a teen, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you want to bring Aiden and Gabby and Alexa and Maddie and Logan here to be able to have a great time, this is available for you to go to, and there's no cost to the teen club. In many cases, the teens kind of meet up here, see what's going on, come back for different events, but they also tend to migrate. They tend to, walk around and chit-chat and do things teenagers do. I don't know. Anyway, there's a teen club on board. And of course, there are cabins on board Brilliance of the Seas, and they're all over the ship depending on which deck you pick, and they come in a variety of configurations. There are small, cheap rooms on, inside cabins, and they're going to be more expensive balconies, even more expensive suites. It's really up to you in terms of, obviously, your budget, your needs, how many people are in your group, and things of that nature as to what cabin to book. Because quite frankly, a lot of people want to know, what should I book? Well, a couple things to keep in mind. Number one, every Royal Caribbean cabin has a base set of standards. You're going to get a bed that can fit 2 people on there. There are a couple solo cabins, but I don't think most people are going to be booking those rooms. Anyway, the point is you're going to get a bed, you're going to get a sitting area, you're going to get your own private bathroom, a television, and closet space and storage space. And For a lot of people, a cabin is a place to go to simply relax, and you're going to go there to shower, sleep, and change, and then you're on your way because there's so much happening around the ship, or you're getting off the ship to go into port. So it's not like you're home where you're spending an ungodly amount of time in, or maybe a lot of time in, to spend there. You're out and about. Alternatively, you might say, well, you're going to spend extra for a nicer room, then you'll be compelled to spend more time in there. But really, don't overthink it or assume that you need a crazy expensive room. You can make do with what's available there. So there you have a look at Brilliance of the Seas. I hope this video tour helped give you an idea of what to expect. It's a beautiful ship. I love going on Brilliance when she's over in Tampa, Florida. Be able to offer some, maybe 4 or 5 night cruises over to Mexico. I love the look of the ship, how much windows there are, which makes it so easy to see the ocean around you. And I think it's an underrated Royal Caribbean ship. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite part of Brilliance of the Seas? And let me know in the comments also, when are you going on Brilliance next? Looking forward to reading your comments down there below. While you're below our video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. That way, YouTube lets you know we have a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.